Hey TJ Mom, it's Day.
And Joe.
And today we're going to be making Cajun chicken fettuccine Alfredo. Now the Alfredo sauce is of course homemade. I make it from scratch because I feel like
That's good.
that's when you're able to just modify how you really want it to taste. You can always like fix anything up, you know, to get it how you want it to taste and everything, but I feel like making it from scratch is the best way for me, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get to whipping.
You'll be needing a gallon of milk, 2% or whole milk. It's just whatever type of milk you guys drink. You'll be needing all-purpose flour, all-purpose. You'll be needing some provolone cheese. We'll get into that as we cook.
That's totally optional though. If you don't like provolone, then get Swiss. And if you don't like Swiss, don't get cheese, okay?
Or you can get pepper jack. It just don't matter.
Yeah.
Pepper jack good.
That's a good idea for some spicy Alfredo sauce.
You right. Pepper jack for spicy if y'all like the spice. And you guys are gonna need some fettuccine noodles, of course. And you guys need some butter. This is one of the main ingredients. Butter. And don't forget your pot for the Alfredo sauce.
Now there's already a pot on the stove boiling with the water for the noodles, and that's why it's not here on this chop block. But for the seasonings, you will need garlic salt, sea salt, iodized sea salt, or regular salt, olive oil for surely. This step you can skip, but it's better if you do have olive oil. Some pepper. This is mandatory for the fettuccine Alfredo unless you're allergic to pepper or something. And optional again, just extra seasoning, some Parmesan cheese. Now I have Parmesan and Romano, which is like that old man cheese. So, but
Stanky cheese, like I was saying.
yeah, once again, I noticed when I've been cooking, people have been telling me, well, you should have used garlic powder, you know, you should have used this, you should have used that. I'm only teaching you guys how to cook it the way I prefer and the way that works for me, and boom. One of the main ingredients, you know, whatever your meat be, whether it be shrimp, chicken, no meat, fish, just make sure that you have it pre-cooked already. And if you don't, that's totally fine. But if you do, it just chops down your time. Real quick, you'll also need a strainer in order to strain your noodles in the sink, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that over there. Now I got the water boiling as I told y'all earlier, so I'm gonna go ahead, drizzle some olives oil for it, and notice how these long fettuccine noodles cannot fit all in this pot. And if I do that, only one side of them will get cooked, and it'd be hard to kind of move them around. So what I'm going to be doing is breaking the noodles in half, and I usually do this by hand. You want to be careful when you do this because you really do, you really can cut yourself while breaking some noodles. And once again, when you cook, don't be afraid. The water's hot, yes we know.
Well
but
dang, how many noodles we need?
all of them.
Well dang.
You know I love me some fettuccine.
You really do.
I'm just using a 1 pound bag of fettuccine.
Would y'all eat these for $1 million?
No.
I'm just
It
curious.
could kill you.
Who cares?
Boo.
I mean, necessarily not who cares, but $1 million, I'm gonna eat some. I didn't say you had to eat the whole pound. Do you feel me? I said, do you feel me?
Oh, do I feel you?
No, do you feel me?
Oh, do I feel you? Hell no. Not about to eat no uncooked noodles.
Now, why is the noodles the first thing you cooking?
I don't know. My preference is that I don't like always reheating stuff back in the microwave, so I really do like to serve food hot. And that's exactly why we're cooking the noodles first, because they can get heated up again by the Alfredo sauce.
I feel it.
You see the noodles are starting to get flimsy and wobbly. Barely. Still got a little bit more cooking to go.
Let's get down with this chicken. First, you're gonna be needing some cooking oil or any type of oil, vegetable oil, all that oil, to get this pan nice and oily. Can you feel me? Now set that aside. Now we here got the chicken that's already cut up into, you know, small pieces. You can make big pieces, any size pieces, it doesn't matter, but we prefer small. So go ahead and just slide that chicken right in there. Yes. Put that plate aside. Now the chicken already humming. Yes, we hear you. Move him around. Ooh, he popping. Boo, he popping.
I know.
Boo. Alright. Being that we already have, this is pre-cooked chicken, so we already seasoned it, so we're going to show you what seasoning we're going to be using for it. Creole seasoning.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and douse some more of that on there, you know. Yes. Yes. I believe that's good. Yes. Depends on how you want your chicken. You know, salty, not salty. Now we're gonna just stir him around, get him cooked up. Oh yeah, he popping. He hitting me. He hitting me right now.
Tapping you up real quick?
He is tapping me.
Now, we don't have to just cook the chicken all the way. We just reheating it.
Basically, this thing is popping me. Look at that ball sitting right there. Hurry up, look at that. Zoom into my knuckle. It's a... What is that sitting on my knuckle, bro?
Some chicken? Ooh, it burned you. Oh, the seasoning. It was like some salt or something.
Now you just want to cook your chicken up to, you know, until it's brown. Not too brown.
Yeah.
And you'll know when it's ready. Looks ready. Looks like I can just take one and eat it like this.
You gonna eat it?
It's hot. I ain't finna just jump on it.
Oh, heck
Burnt my
no.
tooth. You guys may have, you know, fresh chicken that you gotta cook a little bit more, but...
So if you want to do that, you know, all you can do is just season it with a bit of garlic and some pepper. You want to stay around the Italian feel, something like that, with the garlic, okay? Garlic is a major part. Now, if you want to season it with some just regular Lari seasoning salt, go right ahead.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and move Boo's chicken to the back since it's done. I'm gonna leave it uncovered because it's totally fine with us. So over here I have all my stuff that I need for my Alfredo sauce. I got my salt, I got my Parmesan, I got my garlic salt, I got my peps, and I got my provolone cheese. I got my milk and I got my flour. And then, let's bring them over here. Got my butter. Gonna go ahead and put some butter in there. Yeah, you put how much butter you want depending on how thick and how much sauce you want to make. You know, you never just, you know, just, oh, I'm gonna just put this glob of butter, and then you gotta know what you're doing. Like I said, I don't have measurements for you guys. I know that this is good enough butter for the sauce. Maybe not, maybe a little more. For how much, yeah.
High cholesterol?
No.
Okay.
Shoot, that's it, just pass. Oh, sodium.
100 milligrams.
Sodium. Oh, what? 1 tablespoon. Okay, so it's probably about 1.5 tablespoon in here. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We good. Dip some flour into there. Now, I want to just sprinkle it and turn the fire down completely. Now that it's high, get some more flour.
Over here. Got some flour.
And what I like to do is, I usually sometimes use a fork, but this time I'm gonna go ahead and use one of our whisk attachments because it's smaller than the bigger one, and just mix the butter in with the flour. And you'll notice, you're like, hey, this kind of looks like, you know, some dough or something. And basically what I created in this here pot is called a roux, I believe. You get this kind of consistency of like a dough. You basically are making dough, but we basically made hot dough. And this is what makes our Alfredo sauce creamy. It doesn't taste grainy, it doesn't taste like flour or anything like that. Okay, so this is, I like this because that way I can add a lot of milk, basically to make more sauce, and it won't be thin. I done shook my milk before I'm about to pour it, but you don't want to just go whole-headed, and if you need 2 cups of milk, don't pour the entire 2 cups. You want to pour little by little. Like, I'll start off with something like that, because as I'm pouring it, I want to be able to mix it in so that there are no lumps and chunks. If I just pour in too much milk and I'm not able to get it to properly mix in with the roux, then I'm gonna get a lot of lumps and chunks that I don't want. Nobody wants lumps in their sauce. And this kind of looks like mashed potatoes. But yeah, the milk is, you know, as I pour more milk into it, it'll start to get more sauce consistency. On this part, I know I had the fire super low, but you want to go ahead and turn it up some more so that you can get it to heat up and basically melt down. See how it's stuck in the whisk? Stuck in the whisk.
Oh.
Now a fork can do just as good of a job as a whisk. You just have to, you know, be able to work the fork really good. So I have my fire at about 2 right now. I turned it down because it gets too hot and I noticed some browning. I don't want it to start browning just yet. Do you guys see? Now it kind of looks like pancake mix or something. But you see how it's starting to get thinner and it's still thick at the same time and creamy? Yep, it's coming about. And because I added quite a bit, I'm going to turn the fire up once again. About 2 notches. And just get it to mix in. This is the part where things get more fun. I know it looks like what is this white mass of glob? Like, it's not a glob. It's like literally a white sauce. Like, what is this? Well, it's nothing now. It literally tastes like, you know, a little thick, kind of like thick milk with a little bit of butter. Barely you could taste it, but this is where we start to get festive. About to add in some garlic salt for y'all. Add in some pepper. Pepper is very essential to this process. And add in a little tiny teeny amount of salt. Just like that. Now, the only reason that you add in garlic salt and salt, if that's what you use, is to make it a bit salty because this is gonna taste like a lot of milk, you know, because there is milk in this. And this is how you basically get it to have some flavor. When I say salty, I don't mean like, oh, this is gonna taste like salty, cringy. It's gonna have like a subtle flavor to it. And you see it's starting to look more like something you see in a jar. a little drippy right now. So what I'm gonna go, I mean, it seems a little thick. Let me see.
Nah, that's thick.
Is it? Alright. It's just dripping off of this. Do my final step for this sauce and add the provolone cheese. I turn the fire up to get it boiling. So what I do is half it, 1, 2, and then
Stank like food.
just mix them in there. Try to mix it as best as I can. Now I notice it's getting thick, so I gotta whisk, whisk, whisk. So now that we're done with this, we're gonna go ahead and move all of this food, all 3 of them, onto our plates, and you're gonna see a fantastic powwow go down at the table. So let's go.
Alright, DJ Mob, this is the final result for the homemade chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
Creole or Cajun chicken.
Creole.
Yeah.
Right. What I did was add some tapatio. You know, I want some spice, and it looks like what you about to do is
About to sprinkle a little old man cheese.
add some of that stank
Alright.
booty.
Add a little parm. He had a little tap. We got the little Creole Cajun chicken popping. So
This is good.
you
Add
already
that
tried.
from that chicken. Alright, I already tried
Yeah.
some.
Thank you guys for kicking with Day.
And Joe.
And until next time, guys. Whoa. You good? Why eat so fast?
I'm hungry.
Chicken is so. Oh my. Whoa. Whoa. You okay? Wait.
I just added garlic salt, guys. Now it's time to add some salt. I'm gonna put it in my hand.